They love their crab cakes and they love their football. That's what Maryland does. And we are at M&T Bank Stadium down near the inner harbor of Baltimore. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line with the Tennessee Titans. Tannehill on first down. He finds Corey Davis. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A pickup of 24. And that's where the play began, the 24-yard line. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
First down, Titans, gain of 12.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. This a quick pass to Davis. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
You don't want no problem. You don't want no problem from me.
Let's go. 10 logo. Better bring it. You better bring it. Let's get it.
He'll get this one complete to Davis. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
Your trip is here.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Dumps it off to Lewis. Call it a gain of 3, and that's going to make it fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And this one is right down the middle. And the Titans hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Joseph now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. As the Ravens come back out here on offense, we talked about Lamar Jackson earlier, Charles, but these Ravens, they rolled through the middle part of the season. Couple losses in September, but undefeated in October, November, and rolled that into December. They've answered every big question thus far. The wins over Seattle, New England, Houston, the Rams, the Niners and Bills as well. Are they the favorites to hoist the Lombardi Trophy in Miami on February 2nd?
I believe they are because they are a complete team. As much as Lamar Jackson powers everything on offense, he has Marquise Hollywood Brown out wide. He can throw the ball deep, too. Dependable tight ends led by Mark Andrews. Really good offensive line. Mark Ingram can run it. The defense comes at you from every imaginable angle. And if you're trying to prepare on offense for them, it is hard to do, and your quarterback gets hit a lot. And they have the best kicker in the league in Justin Tucker. That's a big formula for success when come playoff time.
This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. They juked him. Powerful running. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Titans will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. As the Titans come back out onto the field here, this is a crew, Charles, that made a heck of a run in the middle of the season, but they might look back at that Week 15 loss at home to Houston as the one that was the turn in the wrong direction.
Had everything going in their direction, to use your word, right? Because remember, that run led to Houston coming to their place in the feature game of the week in the AFC, and they didn't win it. Remember last year, they lost to the Colts at home in Week 17, and that kept them out of the playoffs. This is a good team. Whether they make the playoffs or not, they do have a big decision to make at the quarterback spot next year. Well, Ryan Tannehill, who played so well in relief of Marcus Mariota this year, will he be re-signed by Tennessee, or will he decide he wants to try it somewhere else?
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Jalen Ferguson in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. A second down run with Lewis. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
3rd and long, it's Tannehill. He finds Humphreys. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play. Tannehill on the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Here's Tannehill. Sets up the screen to Lewis. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Keep playing hard, fellas, all day. Whoa! Let's get it.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Tannehill. He sets to fire deep. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. On fourth down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. Back deep is DeAnthony Thomas. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air.
Let's go, let's go!
3-0 after one on EA Sports. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
All day, baby, all day. Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
From the gun, Jackson. And an alley to run. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain.
I got you.
Draw play, Ingram now. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Target.
On third down, Jackson. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up fourth. A third down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 18. Here's Tannehill. He'll get this one into the hands of Lewis. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play there on the catch and run. 56 yards.
So how many more years are we going to define this position as running back? I really feel like we're evolving into something else because they have to be such a hybrid, don't they? Guys who can run it, but I'd love to have those guys with hands like a wide receiver.
Now Lewis here on first down. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Tannehill. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. And with a flag on the field, and that one looks to be in the area where someone was held. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the gun, here's Tannehill. Got a man, it's Brown. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Tannehill. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up fourth. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. Oftentimes with these gadget plays, these fakes, we focus on the offense and say, hey, they practiced this week. They were ready. But the defenses practice these situations too.
And just look at it this way. The two owners sitting up in their boxes, one is saying, boys, my team well prepared, and the other one's like, I got to talk to my coaches. What were they thinking?
Jackson, and the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. It was a safety, Kevin Byard, that time, who was able to knock it away. With that incompletion, you know, Charles, one of the big storylines in the final few weeks of the season lies in the AFC South. Tennessee and Houston battling back and forth. Houston won round 1, week 15, a victory in Nashville. But which of those two teams do you think has the potential to go deeper in the playoffs?
Well, Tennessee just lost at home to Houston, and now we'll have to go on the road to play them again in Week 17. So I would say, on the surface, you would think Houston. They have the quarterback as well in Deshaun Watson that scares everyone. But I'm picking Tennessee as the team that could go deeper because of their defense. That's really a top 5 defense on any given Sunday. Their ability to rush the passer, their ability to play the ball in the air. I like that Tennessee team, and I think Ryan Tannehill, the switch to him at quarterback has really energized that club.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A pickup of 27, and they pick up the first down in the process. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And Jackson throwing once more. And now he'll tuck it and run.
We got this. Check 55 to Mike. Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. His throw incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
Jackson throwing on target to Brown. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets him 6. Here's Jackson, and he's got Snead. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. First red zone chance now for the Ravens. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. To throw again is Jackson. He's going to find his tight end Boyle. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Here I come. Here I come.
Jackson will throw again. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Nick Boyle there to make the grab, and the Ravens have taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Well, let's get back to the playoff picture. We talked about the AFC. Let's look at the NFC. That race starting to come into focus. We know most of the teams, Seahawks, 49ers, Saints, and Packers all in. Vikings in good shape. How do you handicap this race? It seems like anyone can beat anyone.
I think you're spot on, because if you were going into the playoffs with these teams that we're going to talk about, who would you make the absolute favorite? It could be anyone, right? It could be Seattle. It could be San Francisco. It could be New Orleans. I know Minnesota's probably going to come in as a wild card. Green Bay will come in as a division champ, it looks like. But bottom line is, Dallas or Philadelphia's got to win the NFC East. And I don't know that anyone wants to go to their home field and play when they have to play in a divisional game. So when you get it all together, and maybe that would be a wild card, I would guess, because they'd be the fourth team in. But when you put it all together, it is absolutely wide open about who wins the NFC and represents for the Lombardi Trophy.
Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. So we've reached intermission here in a low-scoring game. 7-3 is our score. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, that's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Well, Charles, while we have a second, you know, we talked about the NFC playoff picture, but I wanted to get your thoughts on a hot topic right now in NFL circles. That's awarding a home game to every division winner, regardless of record. It's happened twice in this decade that we've seen a 7-9 team in Seattle get a home game and a 7-8-1 Carolina team get one. Where do you stand on this? Because there's a scenario where you could have a 13-win team from the NFC West traveling to face an 8-win team from the NFC East.
I know I'm a dinosaur on this one. Absolutely. I love the division champ getting a home game. I don't care what the record is, and I know it sounds wrong, and we're in this society now where everything has to be fair and right. And we would like that, and I would like that too for most big topics. But in sports, it's actually kind of cool when these things happen. Remember, Seattle at 7-9 hosted the defending Super Bowl champs New Orleans and beat them. That big Marshawn Lynch run that we'll remember forever. Carolina 7-8-1, they actually lost at home in their playoff game. So you don't know how it's going to turn. I like division champs winning it and getting a home game, even when the records are kind of messed up.
I'm with you. You're making me smile.
How about that? You and I sitting at the home, two old dudes going, that's the way it ought to be.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. From midfield now, here's Jackson. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. And he's going to keep it here. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, his 2nd touchdown of the night as the Ravens push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Tucker with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Titans offense gears up for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the 2nd half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. 27 yards there, a first down.
I remember watching Derrick Henry come out of Alabama and sitting with some scouts, and one of the debate points with him was, while at Bama, how often did he have to deal with contact near the line of scrimmage? They were so good up front that he often got to the second level pretty easily. I think he's starting to answer those questions with runs like that. He's a physical guy.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's go.
They run with Lewis out of the gun. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 16 yards there, a Tennessee first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Switch.
Derrick Henry. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. That was shades of Tennessee volunteer football back in the 80s with Charles Davis coming up from the secondary to make the tackle for a loss.
You mean my teammates doing that, right? Because they would tell you, my coach would say, where's that tape? I want to see that. But how about the complete package there? Not just playing the pass, but being a willing tackler and making a really nice play.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. After the penalty, it's Henry. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
Now it's Tannehill off the bootleg. And the grab made by the tight end Pruitt. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. This one caught by Davis. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. 3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's Titan football here as they trail to begin the 4th quarter. The kick by Joseph is good. And a 2nd field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Joseph now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. The field goal we just saw has us now at a one-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot a bit.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? It might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball, but here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that, and that means opening things up again, being a little more free in what they're trying to get done on offense. I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. Well, the pretty move couldn't create much space, down just beyond the 35. Tackle made there by Kamale Correa.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Throwing on 2nd and 8, Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Jackson from the shotgun. He may try and run for this. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off. All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Again, they'll run with Ingram. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on third down. Here's Ingram. Yeah, this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the first down right near the 24. Now the Titans will use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. Tucker's kick is good. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now Tannehill and the Titans down by 11, a minute 45 to play. Their offense has struggled all night, and now they need to find 2 scores late to try to pull this thing out.
50, plant.
On first down, Tannehill. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Jalen Ferguson in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver that time, Adam Humphries. And it's third down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the gun, Tannehill. He gets it to Humphries. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's fourth down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in fourth and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And that's caught by Smith. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
He's going to let it fly. This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 35. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.